Hey guys, I think we are live right now. There is quite a bit to go over. I have like in my brain a roadmap of where I want to take us. Hopefully we're live. And yeah. So are we live? I'm okay, so Whatnot is running its ad, so I assume that we are live. Okay, there is a lot to cover. A lot to cover. So, first of all, why are people saying that Denims has won? Well, it's because of this. This is something called a tentative decision. So, a tentative decision, often you don't see this, is when there is a decision to be made, and the court will still give both attorneys, including Ethan Klein's attorney, time to consider the arguments he's going to use. So a tentative decision is not the final decision. Now, they're battling over it's called a partial judgment on the pleadings. So there are two, if you remember. So it's very complicated because like we haven't done this in a while. So I'm going to try to make this simple. There are actually multiple parties here. That's H3Snark. H3Snark will cover a little later. They've had some major updates as well. In terms of the claims and the introduction, again, this is definitely a victory, a tentative victory for Denims. Thanks for the 99 cents. It doesn't mean the judge cannot change his opinion after hearing about it. So I'm gonna go to the claims. It's been a while since we covered Denims, to be honest. So where's the claim? Oh yeah, the first claim for relief. So it's the countdown episode. So the first claim for relief, you can see, is the countdown episode and a nuke. There's two things, not one, right? So they were actually fighting over the nuke. And that's what this tentative doesn't mean the judge cannot change his mind. It is unlikely, but nonetheless. So this lawsuit is actually two different lawsuits in one. So, number one, just because you won one of these, which is the nuke. So she won the nuke. Tentatively won the nuke. But she didn't win the countdown episode. And each of these are independent to each other. So here you have the countdown episode, and here you have the nuke. It is quite possible that a judge finds that you did not copyright infringe the nuke, but you did copyright infringe the countdown episode. So this case is not over yet. Even if the tentative goes in Denon's favor, which it very may well go in her favor. There's no coping here because if anything, we just get more content. In fact, it's kind of interesting with the Reckless Ben stuff. There has been, our favorite lawyer has killed more trees. This has been like, every time there's like an update on Denims and H3Snark, we make a video about it or we do live. But the Reckless Ben stuff, we are as big as Denims now. Like maybe the people here saying that I'm coping, have no idea how awesome we've grown. Like, we have grown massively. I can show you the numbers. So, coping would be having to depend on Denims for content, or vice versa, having to depend on Ethan Klein for content. We are out of that loophole. So, we are doing far better than we've ever done, like before. These are astronomical numbers. Last live stream, not this one. This one won't give us numbers. But the last live stream we did, this one here, we made $446 from just one live stream. That was 2 hours long. This is a 2-hour live stream. We made $446. Most of that is not donations, by the way. Yeah, so people say that we're coping. My lord, when we cover Denims, we barely break 100 or 200. I haven't thought about Denims forever. For at least this week. I mean, like, again, this is the big update on Denims. We're not even at 200, guys. Do you know, like, what numbers we've been doing? So this number's not ready yet. But you would be shocked at, like, what numbers we're actually doing. Yeah, this video that, shout out to Alex made just 2 days ago. So these are the numbers that are, so obviously I didn't make 4 cents from this number. We made $334. So in that one day, so it's the same day, the one day we made this, Alex edited this video, made $334 plus our live that day. We almost made $800. And people say I'm coping. People say I'm coping. Dude, when we covered Denims, we've never broke over 500. When we were covering Reckless Ben, we've never been under 500. But we are coping. I don't give a shit if Denim wins or loses, guys. It doesn't affect the channel in the least bit, right? In the least bit. Now, for the OGs, we're doing this for you guys, right? But we're not doing this for money. We're not doing this for views. It simply is not here. If I were smarter and I cared about more of that stuff, we would be doing a second Lego stream right now. So there is no cope here. We have destroyed any metrics that you could cope about, right? So anyway, the judge filed this. Basically, it says Ethan Klein loses because of Ethan Klein. Yes, this is a charity stream, guys. My charity to you. Ethan Klein loses. Oh, Puchila, I don't want... Okay, yes, thank you, Puchila. Thank you for the $20. That was very nice of you. Here's a little something to help you and the Lust Team cope. Appreciate ya. I know that I owe this to you guys, and in any other circumstance, what credibility did I lose? I don't understand. I predicted this outcome. I don't understand. Like, do you want to, like, have you watched my videos before? Yeah, but thank you for the $20. I'm sure we'll make some Legos out of it. Have you watched my videos before, random dude? Probably not. Yeah, the snarkers, right? First and foremost, I said that, yes, Denims had better lawyers. I said that Denims' arguments that her lawyers made were probably the best arguments they could possibly make. Yeah, from day one, I said that Denims could win. I'm not legal mindset. I have. Guys, if you watch my stream, you know time and time again, even, guys, I will say this, even H3 leftovers, they know I said that. And in fact, tonight, they're expecting me to say, oh, well, Denims won because he had better lawyers and Ethan Klein. Even my greatest haters know that that's what I said. Oh, thank you, Puccina. Really appreciate the 20. I really do. It really does help us. So I have always said that Denims' lawyers are killers. All 3 of them. I've always said that Denims' lawyers, one by one, could take on Ron and probably win. But when you combine all 3 of them, Ron doesn't really have a shot. You can go back and rewatch any of my Denims live streams when I'm going over their lawyers, I'm looking at their lawyers, I'm doing all this stuff, right? This was a potential outcome that I did predict. In fact, it's not even, so they're cheering and they're this is tentative. Let me show you what tentative means. It doesn't mean they won, okay? Okay, where is this? Countdown nuke. Oh, this is episode, so I got sidetracked a little bit. Tentative doesn't mean they won. In fact, this is what tentative means. They didn't win shit today, guys. So this document is being circulated around, but it's not a official legal document yet. Because it's not in the docket. If you go in the docket, you cannot find that document anywhere. The only document you can find, so this is May 11th. This is not the correct document. June 3rd, I'm on Court Listener right now. You can look at Court Listener right now. You can look at Court Listener right now. You can. And you're not going to find this. Her win. Because it was tentative. So this is one of the things I don't really like about Denims and the Snarkers. They're celebrating way, way too early. Right? They're celebrating a win on half the claims. And it's not even official yet that they won. Like, you do realize he could have lost, right? You do realize the judge can change his mind later on. That's why they have the hearing. So, this is nothing. This is meaningless. Until it becomes in the court docket. The only thing in the court docket, which was just, I guess like an hour or two ago, is the fact that they don't know who's going to win. And yet everyone is like trolling me, yelling, oh, we won, we won, we won, we won. I don't see that you won. I just saw the matter was called, the counsel stated their appearance, the court's tentative ruling was issued on June 4th and reviewed by counsel. The court heard oral arguments. Okay. So this is new. We don't know what this is. But could it change? If Ron did a really good job, they absolutely could have changed their mind. That's within the realm of possibilities here. And the court took the matter under submission. Do you know what that means, my dear Snarkers? Nothing. Nothing. Right? What do you mean carry on the case? The case is not even half. Look, we do not. This is a new lawyer. Who is this? So this is H3Snark, and the attorney for the plaintiffs is not Ram. It's somebody called Lena. Okay, so interesting enough, right? Ram was not present for Ethan. He's probably too busy with other Ethan cases. And the attorneys, I think this is either the new guy. He's not one of the individuals that we're familiar with. Who is this guy? Nope, there might be a mistake here. I don't recognize either of these two attorneys, and they're saying this guy's the attorney general or he works for the government. But anyway, regardless of what this is, right? Yeah, more promotion for Lena. Yeah. I don't know what this is. This might be an error because it's unknown. Like you would think Ram would be the attorney, and then this guy is actually like he doesn't work at the law firm Denims hired. He's like a government attorney. So very strange. I don't know what is going on with this, but this is the official document that they have sent. So yeah, this happened. This is tentative ruling. This happened on June 4th. And then on June 5th, they have a oral debate, just like how they normally do. This is the same type of debate that they would have. Oh, okay, I'm right, you're wrong. And then the judge has to decide. So if the judge agreed 100%, yeah, it looks like a clerical error, right? Like those are two lawyers that are not involved in the case. When you Google them, they're actually just not in the law firms or anything. So the judge is right. The judge is Wesley Hughes. It could be. It really could be that Rom made a good argument. I'm assuming Rom is the lawyer here because all fingers point to Rom. This is just one count. Yeah, there's 2 counts. And that's what people don't understand. So I'm going to open my little notebook here. I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you why this is still going to cost Denims a shit ton of money. And why Denims, I still believe Denims is going to have trouble with this case. Like, I have no doubt that Denims is still screwed. No matter what the snarkers say. And I have no doubt the snarkers are screwed, too. Because of the timeline. Number 1. We got a word pad. We gotta, like, download, like, one of these things from here eventually. Okay, here we go. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know, everyone's like, oh, hey, how's life? Life is the best it's ever been. Our channel is growing. We don't really need to cover this Denim stuff if we don't want to. We'll do it because there is demand for it, and I do know that this is a big decision for a lot of people. Okay, number 1, there are 2 claims, okay? Number 2, they split the claims. So this is a partial judgment on the pleadings. Okay. I'll probably make this a little smaller so you guys can see it. Let's see. 36. So even if Denims were to win, which is not guaranteed, right? Even if Denims were to win, which is not guaranteed, the court is still looking at it. That's the last update from the court. If Denims were to win, she would still have to defend her second claim. So the first claim is about the countdown to the nuke. The second claim is about the nuke itself. Now, this judgment, so it's not even a full, it's not what you think it is, okay? It is a judgment as to the pleadings, but it's partial. It's partial, meaning it's not complete. Meaning no matter what happens here, there's still a second claim, which actually turns out to be the first claim. It's very confusing. It's actually the first claim, so it's the countdown to the nuke that still survives no matter what. The nuke itself, even if Denim wins, so what? Let me ask you that question. So what? Right? Who cares? Great. You're still in a lawsuit. Right? So in the bigger picture, one of the individuals has settled in Ethan Klein's favor, making an apology video. The second individual has defaulted. And the third individual may or may not have won one claim out of 2. You don't need to win every claim. You just need to win one claim. Yeah, the legal system is set up to make it hard for you to win. Hard for you to escape the legal system. You're going to pay your lawyers a lot of money. Let me make it clear for you guys who are having trouble understanding this. This case, even if Denims wins this completely, so I am giving Denims 100% of the benefit of the doubt, continues on, and it's actually very interesting because she can't do anything about it. There is nothing she can do about it because it is going to be stuck. Because this is happening right now. The snarkers are snarking right now. So these snarkers who so very much love Denims are actually hurting Denims a lot. because they are. So this first claim here countdown is frozen. So Denims is going to continue to pay her lawyers a shit ton of money. And that's that, right? Is my chat dead, or what's going on in chat? I haven't seen a new chat in a while. Hold on a second. Let me reload. Biggest question is how registration of Countdown copyright works when it was done after she reacts to a video. Apparently a 3-month window. Oh, it's just slow. Okay, so we're just listening. Okay, so H3Snark. This is stuck in Snark. Stuck in Snark. So this claim cannot be debated. It cannot be yes or no. This claim is stuck because H3Snark is doing the most snarky things they can do. They appealed it, and then now they're fighting. They're filing a writ amendus. This is what a writ amendus means, where they're trying to compel the basically it means that they think the previous judge was unqualified. So it's very interesting. On one hand, you have, these people like cheering for this judge, right? On the other hand, they're saying the judges are in general unqualified to make decisions. Right? So the H3Snark case can be seen as a reverse of this. And of course, there can be appeals. The reason I would find this so weird. So again, even if Denims wins this, it's meaningless. Her biggest cost was never the $150,000 she could lose. Her biggest cost is her free, incredibly expensive lawyers. Not one, not two, free. Let me repeat this again to you. Like, people are thinking that the main cost is going to be what Ethan can get from Denims. That was never the case. The case was always going to be her lawyers are going to be more expensive than anything Ethan would have been able to. Even if she lost the full $300,000, her legal fees will be over $300,000 when this is said and done. So, like, I asked this question, and the answer is who wins, right? Who wins? The answer is the lawyers win. The lawyers win, right? The lawyers are the only winners. You look at Carl Jobs and Billy Mitchell, who won that case? The lawyers. Mizkiff is paying his lawyers $40,000 a month. Who's going to win that case? The lawyers. Asmongold has 3-4 lawyers for himself, 3 or 4 lawyers for Emeru, 3-4 lawyers for his businesses. The amount of money that Denims is going to spend on this far exceeds anything if she just lost and defaulted. Like Frogan. This is, as somebody who's been in a situation where I was sued, we resolved our issue, I had to pay almost let's say pocket change. The eventual damages that I had to be paid out from me was less than 2% of my lawyer fees. I'm not joking. I had 2 lawyers, right? But whatever, right? So even if Denims wins, she will lose money. And as somebody who has a OF page, Denims only gives a shit about money. So my plan and my strategy is to really ramp up our channel and be ready for, battle later on. People say, how am I coping with this? I'm not coping with this. Like I told Goosey, we didn't have Goosey for the whole week, by the way. And we did okay. I'm sure our numbers could have been even higher had we had Ristic Siphon did a great job. Shout out to Ristic Siphon. But obviously, the more Ristic Siphons and Goosies you have, the better the more structured your channel will be. And I had a major cough. like a super nasty cough throughout. So we are situated as a channel for success moving forward. Denims are not Denims, right? We'll get Goosey back probably Monday. She has, so I actually had dinner with Goosey, so we talked a lot about growth and so on. And Ristic Siphon has done a wonderful job, an amazing job. But once we get Goosey back, we'll probably be even stronger as a team, you know, with Ristic Siphon and Goosey. And of course, Alex, who makes these great videos. So, great. You won one claim. Okay, let's cross out this claim. Let's just assume. Oh yeah, we have a picture. If you want to see a picture of me and Goosey having dinner, you can go on to our Discord. So let me explain. Even if this is and this is not the case today. As of today, this is not the case. Okay? It's only tentative. There's no record that this judge has decided this. So if you go in court doc today, you won't find that. You will not find this. You will not find this. There is no judge decision. There's nothing we can click on anywhere here that we can find which says Denims wins. So if this wasn't made public, which this should not be, this is not part of the official docket yet. Okay? That's why it is called tentative. Right? Even if it's 90-10, it is still very early to celebrate because you still have this other pleading here. Now, let me tell you why I think this is wrong. So I'm going to argue with this individual here, Wesley Hughes. I'm going to argue why I think it's wrong. Why this tentative decision, to me, what I'm going to argue the 10%. Okay? The 90%, everyone cheering and clapping, and Hassan reposting, and, you know, everyone, like, going after me, Legal Mind. It's a kind of sad, but yes, we're in the same bucket now, me and Legal Mind, for this at least. Let me tell you why there's 10%. I don't agree with this decision simply for the fact that, number one, it seems like he's putting a lot in her political views. Like, her perspective about Zionism and Judaism, and that's what I was a little bit worried about, because remember, like, if you watch my old video, we can watch my old video together after, it got, like, really political. Like, incredibly political. And I was like, what does politics really have to do? So, number one, I'm not a fan of this. Of, like, bringing politics to it, but number two, I mean, let me tell you, like, the standard here is incredibly high. When you roll judgment, and this is why I think there's 10%. I think there's 10% or more. So the average, Alex is saying, which I believe him, is 10%. A judgment on the pleadings is very crazy at this stage. That's before discovery. That means you had a complaint and you had an answer, and it's so obvious that, like, you're going to lose. Like, it's so obvious Ethan Klein's going to lose. We don't need to do discovery. We don't need to do interrogatories. We don't need to do depositions. Right? We can just end the case in Denims for this claim in Denims' favor. The burden of proof that the judge needs to show is high. So high, right? So again, I don't think he reached it. I don't think he was able to reach it. Now he talks about the, you know, fair use and the 4 points of fair use. But, like, to say that Denims wins now, and there is no, like, intent, there is no motivation, there's no discovery. What he's saying is, it's frivolous. Which I don't think it is. In fact, the 2 judges in the other cases, one in Missouri, so can't really rely on that, like, and the other one went to default. In fact, one of the things Casey Tron had to say was, it's not frivolous, right? Like, this is, weird. It is very weird because you can see it's mainly used plaintiff side. It is not really used defendant side. So, like, this is very weird. A judgment on the pleadings is typically used in copyright when a plaintiff and defendant agree that, yes, you did infringe copyright infringement. Now let's go to the damages. This is a very rare thing that's happening. This is a very rare thing that's happening that I do not think, if I was this judge, I would be very careful. Because if you open yourself up to appeal, this standard, right, is so high. Right? So high. And yes, even if she wins this, she's still going back to court. She still has to go to court again. Or at least her attorneys have to go to court again. This case is not even 50% over, right? 50% over, right? No, I can call out a judge just like you can call out a judge. The public can call out a judge. No, Alex, don't delete their stuff. I actually invited them here today, so I don't delete any more of their stuff. Unless it's an ad hominem attack. He's misunderstanding what I'm saying. Like, he's thinking that because he's a judge, no one can say it. In fact, in Reckless Ben, I called out the judge that signed the warrants for Ben's arrest. As has almost every lawyer on YouTube. Yeah, let them go on because it's very foolish. Like, this Orlando guy is not intelligent. So, like, in terms of building my argument, Orlando is also helping me because he's so stupid. Right? Yeah, so let them continue because, like, they're saying, do you have to be a lawyer to call the judge? No. No, you don't. If you see a judge is wrong, you can make a YouTube video and say, I think the judge is wrong. In fact, me and many people who are not lawyers have called out the Mormon judge who signed the warrants for arresting Ben. So you don't need to be a lawyer to call out a judge on a YouTube video, guys. You can call a judge yourself, right? Right? Orlando, you can call out a judge even now. You can make a video today calling out a judge. You'll be okay. You will be okay, guys. So basically, she goes back to court. So what type of victory is this? It's a very hollow victory. It's a very expensive victory. Of course, Denims is going to drum me up, drum up, right? Drum up, right? But this is very rare. This is very rare. Let's take a look. Yeah, this is incredibly rare, guys. According to AI. Maybe they won't tell you how rare, but this thing you never see in copyright. If you're asking about the success rate for motions of judgment on the pleadings, they have a low win percentage. Maybe we'll just do California. Maybe it'll be able. This is not something that normally wins. Okay? There's no official state released for . How 95 of cases settled before trial. Okay. So they're not going to give you a number, but I'm going to give you a number, and the number is going to be incredibly low. Because the judge has to find for a lot. This would have to be defined as a total victory. And in the law, there's really no such thing, right? As a total victory. Now, is there enough? I don't think so. So, 3 of the 4 fair use factors strongly favor defendants, including the most important factor, purpose, and character of use. But this is because the court is saying, oh, she hates Ethan. How can she copyright infringe Ethan? So the court is really putting a lot of emphasis on this individual hates Ethan so much. How can she copyright infringe Ethan when all her statements are like, oh, this sucks. You suck, Ethan. This sucks. You're wrong, Ethan. Right? This is a very, this is going to get appealed. This is going to get appealed. I think as is, if the judge submitted this, Ethan Klein will absolutely appeal this. And again, he doesn't even need the case continues, right? But let's say he appeals this. I think there's a good chance of getting overturned 20, 25, 35, which is very high. That's very high for appeal. Far higher than H3Snark. Simply for the fact that, if you're a judge and you rule on a judgment on the pleadings, that itself is really, really wrong. So I'm not going to respond to chat anymore. We're going to keep moving. I think it's the same snarkers just snarking in chat. You're welcome to snark, but when you make when you say the same things over and over again, you sound like an idiot. Okay? So, yes, deep analysis, correct, yes, laugh. It's so funny. So, this to me is not a real win because you go straight back to court. And I can tell you, as somebody who had to do this, yeah, we don't have a goosey doc today, so it's kind of hard. We're kind of randomly going places. But anyway, this depends on the snark. Yeah, a lot of trolls today. I don't even want to go beyond an hour today because we did a 3-hour stream of Reckless Ben, and I'm just not. I'm just very motivated to do more Reckless Ben. So we'll try our best, but we'll move on to H3Snark now. So on the other side, H3Snark is also being accused of the countdown to the nuke. So the countdown to the nuke is a different video from the nuke. The current pleadings, judgment on the pleadings, only applies to the nuke. It does not have any effect to countdown to the nuke. And this is countdown to the nuke. So we have a lot of things to cover. Snark has been extra snarky lately. They have decided that we are going to appeal the decision. This is the battle over the subpoena. This is the battle that Ethan Klein won. The magistrate judge sided with Ethan Klein, and now the does are appealing, which is something Ethan Klein can do as well, right? Yeah, I have no idea why the snarkers are so happy. They've literally won nothing. They won nothing. And if Cope is having the best month we've ever had, maybe I'm Cope. I don't know what your definition of Cope is. We have more viewers than we've ever had. We have more money than we've ever had. We have more views than we've ever had. Thanks to Reckless Ben, right? In fact, Reckless Ben has been so crazy for us that we don't even talk about this shit no more, right? So if doing the best you've ever done as a channel is cope, yes, we're coping, right? Yes, we're coping. In fact, we are doing so well, we overtook Denims. We had more viewers on the last live stream. I think it was today's Friday, Thursday. We have more viewers on YouTube, concurrent viewers on our YouTube, and our YouTube is only 2 hours. I know the longer you go, the more viewers you get. Than Denims did. We're bigger than Denims sometimes. We're definitely bigger than Sean the Black. Okay. But anyway, so if that's coping, we're doing the very best that we can do. Okay, so the snarkers are snarking. They have appealed it. Again, Leia is desperate to kill trees. In a desperate last act, Leia is going to put on... This reminds me of like kind of like a Star Wars thing. Where like, you know how the rebels are always like really desperate at the end? They are so desperate that they are going to appeal. But not only are they going to appeal, so this is normal. This appeal is normal, okay? This appeal is normal. I'll probably make a video about this tomorrow because I think it's very fascinating. So they're so desperate, they made an appeal. They have, it's a real appeal. The Ninth Circuit has accepted... Oh, they've also done a petition for a writ of mandamus. Do you guys know what a writ of mandamus is? Do you guys know what a writ of mandamus is? It is a powerful court order that requires a government official, in this case, this would be the judge, the magistrate judge, to perform a mandatory legal duty. So they're accusing the judge of not performing her legal duty, right? This is very serious, right? This is very serious, right? Like, this is incredibly bad. Like, you are essentially saying that Judge Kim... No, the writ of mandamus is really bad. You're accusing the judge that you're appealing from, that she's not doing her mandatory legal duty as a judge. Either she's drunk, or on drugs, or for some reason, she's refusing to do her legal duty to rule in your favor. This is wild. We talk about how rare stuff is in the law. This is it. This is one of the rarest things you can do in the law. I have never seen one of these. I've only heard about it from my law books, right? It's kind of one of these things as a law student, you're just like, oh man, one day I'll do... This is like you attacking the judge. This is like there's a funny Ethan Klein thing where they're saying, oh, Ethan Klein's going to sue the judge for like being like... There's a funny thing here where like Ethan Klein's going to sue, what's his name? What was this guy's name? Ethan Klein was going to sue Judge Wesley Hughes, right? Because he didn't like the decision, and he was like, oh, Wesley must be a Zionist or anti-Zionist or something like that. Like, this is it. If you ever lost a case from a judge, and you felt so angry at that judge that you wanted to sue that judge, that is what this is, a writ of mandamus. I'm probably mispronouncing the name. This is so rare. You as a lawyer are risking your career. Leia is putting everything down on the line. Putting, all the chips are moving to the table. This thing is, we'll take a look at what it looks like, right? This is a docket number. Okay, register for appeal. This is the timeline. So we, technically speaking, unless something weird happens, Denims will be stuck here. Denims will be stuck here for a while. Because this case, this subpoena case, involves the countdown to the nuke, which Denims has not won in. So there is a interesting legal timeline going on. The back and forth and back and forth and the back and forth and back and forth. Because Snark is actually preventing Denims from winning, allegedly, right? Because look, the does, they have their mediation questionnaire, and then they have appeals opening, then they have, and then Ethan's team gets to respond, of course, right, to the Ninth Circuit. So the Ninth Circuit, even if they responded today, which is not going to happen, probably would take a month, won't come to a Snark decision on its appeal until probably late August, early September, right? Because of this timeline. And then obviously if you don't file for the thing, the court can dismiss your case. So this is going to delay this. So Denims can't exactly declare victory until at least this date. There's no victory to be had, right? This is the document, right? So this is the petition for the writ of mandamus, right? And we're going to take a look at it right now. This is another 47 pages that our good friend Leia has decided to kill some more trees over. I am almost certainly positive this is an individual who is just... The body count on these trees is high. Okay. Yada, 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 yada. After this, we'll look at Denims. We'll look at the tentative. Remember, it's only tentative, right? Okay, statement of jurisdiction. Issues presented. Okay, here. Here's the issue. Whether mandamus or alternative appellate jurisdictions lies where a order denying a motion to quash identity revealing subpoenas entered by a consent magistrate judge, that is Judge Kim, will irreversibly disclose anonymous speakers' identities. Whether the district court clearly erred by categorically exempting a copyright-labeled unmasking subpoena from the heightened evidence. So, they are attacking the judge. They're attacking the judge over and their decisions. You don't even have the power. You didn't know. This was heightened standard. Whether the district court clearly erred by barring the DMCA thing, they're saying, oh, the judge made a mistake. Whether the district court clearly erred in crediting allegations of material concern. This is just kind of bullshit, right? Whether the district court clearly erred by treating plaintiff's needs to identify as satisfied by pleading inquiry when any standard, like, so here's like the dichotomy here. If you think a judge is cannot make a mistake. So H3Snark is incredibly, like, they only misrepresent things, like, in their favor. So on one hand, tentatively, they're saying, oh, Denims got him, as if an appeal doesn't exist. And on the other hand, they're literally saying the judge was wrong, we're going to appeal. Right? So let me repeat this again. This is a very bizarre dichotomy they're saying. Right? They don't quite understand. So they don't like the judge's verdict here. So they're appealing and saying the judge is wrong, and this is why they're wrong, and this is crazy, and right? So, but on the other hand, they're saying, oh, this other judge is right. This is a very bizarre dichotomy because they don't understand that, yes, Ethan Klein could indeed appeal number 2 if he wanted to, or he just continues with number 1. So they're literally appealing because they feel like a judge's decision was wrong. So not every judge and not every judge's decision is correct. That's why you have appeals. No, Denims is not. You can go back to the beginning. I'm not going to repeat everything for one person. You can go way back to the beginning, too, because otherwise you will have no idea what we're talking about right now. So they're trying to have it vacated. Of course, right? And maybe they're trying to get attorney fees as well. And this is more or less the same thing they've always been saying. Mega threads. Thank God, with the power of the sun, we now have 10 different threads. Mega threads, right? Mega threads. And again, this is just kind of like the repeating of the same thing. Like, you know, she's not using AI. Everyone's saying that she uses AI. There's no way. AI is smarter than this. You know, like, I've looked at enough layers work to tell you for a fact that she's not using AI. Because AI would not make the mistakes that have been made over and over again. And it doesn't really write like this. It's kind of like a weird... This is like a very layer way where you can take like one sentence and make it like 10 pages. You know. And Bauman, knife circuit, okay, knife refactor, district orders. Okay, so the order is, as a matter of law, is incorrect. It didn't apply the correct legal standard. They're still talking about high fields. This is when Leia was like shaking like a tree. High field, high field. We have actually a reenactment of this. We did a reenactment of it, so if you guys want to watch that to see what actually was talked about, it's probably, it was me, Goosey, and Alex. We did a really funny reenactment of it. You know what? I really do miss covering like this stuff. I know the Reckless Ben, I know like what is good for our channel is to keep like posting Reckless Ben shit. But I kind of miss the legal nature of this stuff. We have documents, we have court listener, we have tentative. You know, like, what people don't know is, like, we don't actually really take sides most of the times. We just read the document and then we talk about it. Right? That's what we do. Yeah, we'll probably have a more mix of it because there's a lot to cover. There's a lot to cover. The high field test. God, you know, it would be hilarious to see Leia on Zoom again. Leia did such a bad job on Zoom, it was, like, incredible. God, like, they're going to send Leia again. I bet you Leia wrote this. The only person who could write this would be Leia. She literally can take one sentence and make it, like, at least a few pages. Oh, yeah, look. The order's refusal to consider fair use is clear error. And and they're talking about money bags. Fair use is a threshold requirement for finding. So if you guys think, okay, so let's go back this. There's a 10% chance, of this going the other way. And then even Klein can appeal it, and there'll be another like 20% chance that it gets appealed. This thing has like I never want to go below 5 because you can't really predict anything that happens, right? But this thing has the lowest percent chance of anything we've ever seen before. The percent chance that this appeal is going to work based on Leia's 47 pages, we are nearing like the lowest percent chance anything legally would work. I think that percentage is a 5% because no one knows what the hell can happen, right? But this is such a low percentage that, like... And the funny part is they're paying Leia... Theoretically, they're paying Leia to do this, right? The district court erred by failing to consider First Amendment. So, like, on one hand, you have, like, Snark. And they're saying, oh, we can't trust the judges. Remember, this judge is literally, like, in the same court system as the other judge. On the other hand, it's like, yeah, the judge is right. We got him. We beat Ethan. The judge, yeah. So, like, I don't know. I mean, that sounds kind of, like, weird to me, right? Because couldn't Ethan just appeal the decision? Just like they appealed the decision? I don't know. It seemed... I probably think he can do that. If I had to take a guess. The nature of those speeds demanded First Amendment consideration. I don't think that's true. The court's framework, again, First Amendment, First Amendment, First Amendment. So, it's a very lame argument. It's the same argument. Yeah, this 47 pages, guys. It's snark. What do you expect? It's our good friend Leia snarking around. And it goes on. It's the same arguments they made in their thing that which they lost, right? They're basically saying we lost because the judge didn't take us seriously. So more snark. The district court's order is off repeated error manifesting persistent. Look, they're coming after the judge. Let me read you this. The mandamus of relief. The magistrate judge who issued this order was previously overturned in an unrelated case for failing to correctly analyze fair use in the context of copyright infringement unmasking subpoena, DMCA. Repeating her errors here, the magistrate judge refused to consider fair use and refused to balance the equities as required by controlling authority. So they're basically, I mean, if this is not going after a judge, I don't know what it is. So Leia will pay for this. You don't shit on a judge and not pay for it. Maybe not today, but you will pay for it tomorrow. And this is a very desperate act, guys. This is you saying, don't look at the arguments, right, that I've already made. Look at me attacking the judge. This is you saying that the judge is stupid and she's repeating her errors, right? This is, again, an incredibly stupid thing to do. Because it could very well be that Leia will see this judge sometime down the road. And that's why you don't shit where you eat. The reason that lawyers don't attack other lawyers is because sometimes maybe we'll have clients on the same side. Maybe we want to settle. And it's good to have Leia is burning down everything. It's not enough that she's burning down, relationships with other attorneys like Rom. She's burning down relationships with other judges. This thing has gone crazy. This is the rarest, what is the percentage of this? Okay, so it won't tell me the percentage. Staying success rate. What are the chances? Only 90% result in a favorable outcome for an applicant. Well, there's no guaranteed success rate for writ amendment. 7 factors can... But that's if you're using it correctly. Act promptly. Choose your attorney wisely. Build a solid... They don't have a solid legal argument. Consider all... Stay informed. I don't think this is right. I don't think that's right. So... Otherwise, everyone would just file a writ amendment. This thing is rare. Immigration. Yeah, it's actually used in immigration. Yeah, so actually, in immigration, it is very rare as well. And it's used in immigration to stop deportation. Actually, I know what this is now. I actually have a much better understanding. This is used in immigration primarily to stop deportation. This is not really used. Yeah. The writ of madness are extraordinary remedies. This is not used outside of immigration. Most of the times. This is essentially saying that the judge in my case did not give me justice. Yeah, it's an extraordinary measure to use, but it is only. I've seen it actually. I've seen it before in immigration to stop deportation. I volunteered at a immigration. I saw it when I was very young, so I don't remember seeing it no more. But I forgot I saw it. I know exactly where I saw it. Is my profile going to load or what? What's going on with LinkedIn? Yeah, my computer's had loading problems. I might just buy a new computer soon. It's had a bunch of problems lately. Okay, it's just not loading. Where is it? Okay, it's like right here. I'll show you. I've actually seen this before. Where? Okay. Oh, yeah, here. When I was working for this company. I wasn't working. I was volunteering for this company. Can I not click on the company? So I was working for this company here, or I was volunteering for this company here, and actually I did see it. I did see it one time. It's like you're ready to deport somebody, but like the judge has been so biased. So this is what happened at the time. Like there was a lot of very like biased judges, if you will, that the judge did such a bad job that you just have to like reverse like what they were doing. But yeah, it's primarily used. I don't know if LinkedIn's working or not, but this is a very rare thing, even in immigration and outside immigration. I've never heard of it before. This is like you saying the judge is biased, or like I don't know if I should say it, like racist. You're saying, oh, the judge is racist against Chinese people, and that's why they're trying to deport my client. And there's actually like proof that the judge is racist, like prior statements and statements he made on your client and all. Like there's actual like evidence of this. Right? The order raises new and important problems or issues of first impression. Conclusion: the district court dispensed with every unmasking test, failed to consider fair use, accepted speculation about the purpose and intent. My God, is my computer like this slow, or is it just not linked? This is a real company. I promise you, it is a real company. It's a real law firm. It's a real charity that I worked at. Yeah, here we go. I worked here. I didn't work here. I didn't get paid. Okay, I didn't get paid. I specifically helped Chinese people being deported who couldn't really speak English because I can speak Chinese. So it's mostly Hispanic, but they do all deportation, right? So for 2.5 years, I volunteered here, and I saw it one time. So it's not, okay, so I'm getting like flashbacks now because this was a long time ago. This was a long time ago. When was this? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to get a new computer because I know my internet is really fast. When was this? Oh yeah, whatever. I guess it's not relevant to our topic at hand. Those documented harms while ignoring the chilling effect of the First Amendment. So the First Amendment doesn't apply here. This is clear error. Oh, yes, it is Leah. Our good friend Leah Rosa Vulik wrote all 47 pages, right? When's the last time a snarker worked at, this? Yeah, I did work for 2.5 years. I remember, yeah. When the last time a snarker worked on other people's human rights instead of, just snarking in the Reddit? Right? I actually worked... volunteered. Okay, I keep saying work, but it's volunteer. It even says so. From this place. And it was tough, man. It was not easy work. Everyone's getting deported. One of my best stories to tell you. So I had this guy. He was like a young guy, and he was Chinese, right? So I'm like, okay, why are you getting deported, right, to China? And he was like, yeah, I stabbed my grandmother. And I was like, oh, that doesn't sound good at all, So I'm like, so I'm moving away from the guy, right? I'm like, oh no, because he has a pen, right? He's got like a pen. So we're filling out forms for him because he doesn't speak English. His English is very bad, right? They caught him during a raid. He's been put here, and then he had a past criminal record. So you get deported if there's a past criminal record, especially if it's even during this time. I think this is who was president in 2009 to 2012? I forget. I want to say Obama, but yeah, Obama. Okay. Even during Obama times, if you like did a aggressive crime, they would deport you. So yes, I was doing this during Obama times, where the laws were much more lenient, if you will. Lenient would be the way I would say it. So I get there, okay, whatever, right? It's like, you know, I had my lunch, and then, so the first person I talked to, right, is like, why do you think you got deported? So I have like a little checklist of things. So I'm not a lawyer yet. I'm just like a law student. And he's like, oh, I stabbed my grandmother in the heart. I was like, okay. And so he's got the pen, right? I'm like, okay. So he has a pen, right? Because he got to sign off on stuff. And I was like, okay, give me my pen back. So I gave the pen back. I was like, oh, don't worry, I'll write this for you. And then I was like, oh, do you have a good reason for stabbing your, did you have a good reason for stabbing your grandmother in the heart? And then she had to go to hospital, and the police showed up, so there was a whole big thing, and he was like on a run or something. And then eventually they caught him during a raid. That's the story. And he was like, yes, my grandmother took my Xbox away. Yeah, I probably told this story like dozens of times on my channel, because like it's such a bizarre thing, right? Probably for like immigration things, right? So I was like, wait. So and he thought that was a defense. Like he actually believed that he was like going to like leave prison or deportation. So then he kept saying, oh yeah, I'm going to get out of here, right? Isn't that a great defense? I was like, you know, it's you value your Xbox, you playing your games, right? So I wanted to get out of here. So I, you know, like, and no, he 100% believed that because like he needed his Xbox, he had a right to stab his grandmother, and he shouldn't be deported because that was his defense. And so I'm like, oh geez, I need to get out of here. So I signal to like, you know, you make like, so you have a signal, right? So you're like, the signal is like this, and yeah, self-defense or something. And so like we have a checklist of things, right? So he tells me, oh, I stabbed my grandmother. I'm like, okay. So the next thing is like, do you have any like applicable defenses? Like, and you know, defense would be like self-defense. You know, I was she threatened my life or something. And then he tells me like she took his Xbox away. And I'm like okay, you know, I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to leave. You know, and then, so I'm just a student. You know, I'm a law student. I'm young, right? I'm like, holy shit, like, but no one knew that was his defense because no one could speak Chinese. Do you understand? And he did get deported back to China. So, okay, so that's my story about this. I don't know, it's relevant. I know it's completely bonkers crazy, but it is, you know. Oh, man, we were doing that during Obama. I wonder what it's like to do, like, pro bono deportation now. It probably is a lot harder. All right, our good friend Leah Rosak-Rulik is still at work. Still at work, killing the trees. Good job. Okay, so here, now one of the criticisms is that actually Ethan Klein, his own case where he won fair use, is being used against him. Yes. The judge actually is using Ethan Klein's own case against him. What was the case name? Like Haas or something? Oh, here, yeah. But this is very interesting, and I'm gonna dive. This is the person who mentioned this case was actually Rom. So, like, did Rom make a decision mentioning this case? So the plaintiff requests that court take judicial notice of certain court records, the plaintiff requested. So actually, it was Rom and Ethan who told the judge to look at his case. And then they found that the video was. Then they used this case against Ethan. Wild, right? I mean, again, Snark is going all crazy over this. But that's what happened. So again, here's where I would disagree. And I will say this, and I've said that a million times again. Frost LLC, they're killers. They're litigation killers. In fact, I'm going to take a little break, and we can watch what I said about Frost LLC. This is what I said about Frost LLC, guys. I didn't make this stuff up. I said Ethan could lose because the lawyers on Denims were killed. They were very impressed. I even said I would work at their law firm. That's how impressed I was by their background and their stuff like that. And then I'll take a little rest while we look at Frost and Denims free lawyers forced to eat. Yeah. These are the free lawyers I'm talking about. Denims is a lawyer's worst enemy. The Denims lawsuit. How do we do this by? Is it not by Oh yes, here we go. Okay, let's listen. And I'll take a little break, and then we'll continue on with the actual paperwork. Oh. Okay. We'll take a look. This is very important that we listen to my old video, because Snark video, I am thinking about live streaming tomorrow against Denims. So it's order granting. It's actually the stay the case to lift. And there's a proposed order. Now, the case is in stay right now. They're waiting for H3Snark, the subpoena, to Reddit to resolve. That one is still going. Expectations are sometime around early April. I would not be surprised if it was April Fool's Day. That's when they got the Billy Mitchell versus. Judges have a sense of humor when it comes to this. But yeah, here we have the Judge Wesley Hughes. And it's fascinating because there are actually 2 counts. People forget this, and sometimes I do as well. There are 2 videos that Denims has, or 2 live streams, Denims has been accused of copyright infringement, not one. Now, one of the videos, the nuke, that involves H3Snark. So here, our plaintiff, TED Entertainment, commends this action by filing its complaint, alleging direct copyright infringement against Denims, contributory copyright infringement against those 1 to 10. On March 3rd, the court stated this action pursuant to stipulation of TEI and Denims, collectively the parties, pending the outcome of the miscellaneous action, pending in North. You clean your docket out, you just get more cases. Oh, so, no, this is when they just had the 2 Benjamins. Okay, when they added the 3rd lawyer, I was like, holy shit. When I looked at this 3rd lawyer, that's when I thought, oh my god. Maybe it's this video.
Or face a case for copyright infringement for Denims. Remember, and this is how it gets interconnected, that one of the best defenses that they had was, oh, Denims did not commit copyright infringement. So not only, but when you have a prima, so there's no one at 46.
Like I said some really nice things about their lawyers when they added the 3rd lawyer. Denims abandons H3Snark. Denims lawyers wants more money, which they did, and Denims lawyers did receive more money. Yeah, this is why you cannot settle with Denims. You cannot settle with Denims. Maybe it was a live stream. Was it a live stream? Does this show live streams? Oh no, it doesn't show my live streams. Yeah. So, I mean, look, you beat Frogan, you beat Casey Tron. I mean, that's pretty good. Denims replied judgment on the plea. Oh, yeah, this is it. Yeah, I remember. I did. Oh, shit. Look at their replies. Very good. I remember, like, when it came out, I thought it was really, really good. Yeah, correct tips. Destiny fans are always angry. So, interesting. We have some huge developments on this side because either they're going to go to trial or not. For Logan Paul versus CoffeeZilla, and Destiny did not really do anything to this expert. to the copyrighted content? Probably not.
Oh, yeah,
At
yeah,
that
yeah.
point, you are stealing views. If you react a day or two later, like maybe there should be some type of rule in place, right? Just out of
Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. I didn't see that.
courtesy, where you have to wait 24 hours, then you can react to the content, right? So anyway, again, yeah, I think it could be etiquette. I think it just could be like good etiquette. But when you're reacting a minute, we all know available online content. Denims spends almost 4 hours or 2 point expensive. I would imagine that these free lawyers have charged Denim at least $250,000. I bet you.
Yeah, these free lawyers have charged Denim. Yeah, that's good.
$250,000. Yes, collectively. Now, the case is better for Ethan Klein. So we can talk about two different scenarios here.
Yeah.
The fact pattern, right? The facts.
This is what I talk about.
I think if they both had equal lawyers, Ethan Klein would win 90% of the time. But that's not what's happening here. They clearly have superior lawyers. And there's 3 of them.
Yeah, so again, I said clearly they have superior lawyers. The lawyers make a difference, guys. The lawyers make a difference. I said if they had the same level of lawyers, Ethan Klein would win 90% of the time. I believe that. But one side just had way better lawyers. I posted this 3 weeks ago. And as soon as we were doing like discovery on her lawyers, I don't know when we're going to do that. Maybe like later in this video. Because she added that other lawyer. I thought he was like really cool, really good. They added the third lawyer. I was like, oh shit, this third lawyer is pretty good too. Like, that's what I said. This is exactly what I said, guys. Dude, Rom is like, think about Rom. He's one dude, and he's literally like doing like 20 cases right now for Ethan Klein alone. And he's doing other cases. Rom has like a full book, and he's one dude. Frost LLC, right? Yeah, not with Frost LLC. Frost LLC is expensive as hell. And not with 3 different lawyers, Ristic Siphon, of course. So I would even imagine a single one of Denon's lawyers is as competent, if not more competent, than Rom. Yes, that's what I said. I would even imagine a single one of Denon's lawyers is more competent or more competent than Rom. I said this way back when. So now you have 3 lawyers that are better than Rom? This is so well done. I love this when it came out. Maybe I got some like negative feedback or something, but I said this was really good. Yeah, how many cases is Rom working on just for Ethan? And he's helping like other YouTubers. I know there's some type of like digital game he's doing right now, like, right? But I said this, and people are like, oh, you're a homer. No. I said this before the decision. Because I felt it. The same way I said, guys, I didn't do this one time only. I did it for Billy Mitchell versus Carl Job. No, yeah. I said, wow, Billy Mitchell's lawyers are kick-ass. Damn. And I didn't really know much about him, but I was hearing about the case and so on. And I was like, Carl Job's lawyers sound like losers. I spent the majority of my time saying how much of a loser Carl Job's lawyer was. And he was a loser. On day 7, he still had no idea what the timeline was. I think Rom is overworked. But Rompetent. Yes. Oh, that's Ristic Siphon there. Rompetent. I think Ron is competent, but he ain't these fucking sharks, man. This guy's going to eat him alive. Which is Ethan's lawyer. So now imagine 3 of them. Yeah, imagine 3 of them. A better legal team does not make a better legal case. I'm saying legal case-wise, in terms of fact patterns, Ethan Klein is clearly ahead. I still believe this. 90 to 10, right? 9 to 1. 9 to 10, yes. If you had to take odds, if they had the same exact lawyer quality, it would be 9 to 1 odds, right? Betting odds. But that's not the case here. The case is Denims has by far the superior. Well, I mean, we've looked at Frost LLC enough times. We've looked at Frost LLC enough times that like we don't. I've never said anything bad about Frost LLC. I've always said that these guys are killers, and I would not want them to be against me. In fact, one of my videos, I said, I'll just join them, you know? Don't need to go look at them again. They're sharks. They're all litigators. They went to great law schools. And all. Yeah, we even know what law schools they went to. We went one by one. All 3 of them. They do is litigate, right? Look.
This Mango guy is like always glazing the lawyers, not Leia. Because Leia sucks. You know, like, dude, I'm going to tell you how I see it. If Leia is my lawyer, I'm just not going to do it. If Nika Brahma, if this guy's my lawyer, Nika Brahma, I'm going to be okay with it because I paid him like a dime. Okay? I'm okay with Nika Brahma because I only gave him like $100, right, to charity. So I'm okay writing my loss off because he's not going to respond to things. I'm not okay with Leia. Yeah, this is what I said. This was 3 weeks ago. And again, the law firm is pretty, you know, like I said, it's a pretty good law firm. I know why she did this. For views. For views, concurrent, like you see the little number. And says, hey guys, I'm not going to be here. Want you guys to know that. Remember, this decision was made April 20th. Oh, and then we compared them to Leia. Yes, I remember. And it's like, no, Leia, no. Yeah, oh yeah, we're talking about Leia. Oh, yes, we're talking about Leia.
Which sees none of these things. So this is smart. So part of even
Klein's... I said this is smart. Dude, they killed this document. They killed this document. No one can tell me otherwise. This is from her legal team. They did a fantastic job.
Klein's argument is, hey, Denims didn't prepare for this live stream. She doesn't have any notes. Like, she doesn't have any goosey doc, right? Like, when we do a live stream, most of the time, we'll have a goosey doc. That means Goosey has researched it. The links are all viable. They all work. There's citations, the history of that, and they just started lying, right? Would that be transformative? It would be transformative because the guys.
Look at the argument.
His argument is, hey, Denims didn't prepare for this live stream. She doesn't have any notes. Like, she doesn't have any goosey doc, right? Like, when we do a live stream, most of the time, we'll have a goosey doc. That means Goosey has researched it. The links are all viable. They all work. There's citations. There's a lot of, like, I would say it's well executed, accurate, and necessary. But what they're saying is, C is none of these things, and it's okay to be none of these things because you could be a total idiot. Right? You're like, blah, blah. So their argument is you literally...
Hey, this is the argument they won on. Guys, this is the argument they won on. The reason that it was transformative was because she hated Ethan Klein so much. And she was acting like an idiot. So I didn't have any facts or... No. This is me predicting the future. Okay, listen carefully.
You literally could be a baby reacting to this, and it would be transformative. And in fact, the less accurate you are, the more transformative it may be.
Yes.
It is a good...
Yes, that's their argument. The less accurate Denims is, the more transformative her video becomes. That's exactly what they're saying here. Hey, guys, I predicted it. I forgot. That's exactly what they're saying. Yeah, the idiot argument. Keep listening.
It's a good argument. So what if somebody watched like Ethan Klein's documentary and every time they go, oh, that's not right. Okay, look at the history of that, and they just started lying, right? Would that be transformative? It would be transformative because the guy's just lying the whole time, right? This is interesting, and this is what you get when you get a good lawyer. They took a weakness, and I think this is a weakness. No, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I think.
Yeah. I remember this. I got criticized so hard for glazing these lawyers. Okay, I remember this live stream. People were not happy with what I was saying. Because I was saying that these lawyers were kick-ass killers. And then people were like, no. And I was like, no, God. Because like, I understand most of you guys are coming from H3 Productions. Yeah, we didn't have a goosey doc today. Right?
I think the fact that, Denims has no idea what she's talking about. She's not accurate. She lies about certain things that she probably knows is a lie. She absolutely has no goosey doc. How could she have a goosey doc? Because she doesn't even know what the video is about. So it's not well executed at all. It's not accurate at all. And it's not necessary because she did the whole stream, right? Is it necessary for her to go 10 hours to explain, like, no. But they took this and they kind of flipped this and said, you know what? What if a clown was reacting and the clown was making, inaccurate statements and didn't have any show notes and didn't have any of this stuff?
Yeah, there's Goosey. Hey, Goosey. We miss you having, a doc. Right now, this is what the doc looks like. Yeah. This is what the doc looks like. No. Yeah. So if you just made a document and you said, let's say that there's nuke, right? And you just say, yeah, oh yeah, then that actually would be copyright infringement according to the judge. But if you sat there at the nuke and you said, no, that's so bad, I hate Ethan, fucking blanking Zionisness, oh God, I can't believe Israel, oh God, pro-Palestine statement, then the judge is like, yeah, that is fair use. So the judge's argument as to fair use seems to depend on whether or not you agree with the video. I have to make another video tomorrow about it, but that's overall my takeaway, is whether or not the judge determines if you are using fair use. And again, it's a very smart argument. It's not like it's something called satire, right? So if you're criticizing somebody, is it fair use? If you watch a video and you just nod your head, yep, oh, that's awesome, oh, yep, nope, yep, clearly that's copyright infringement. But what if instead of saying yep, you said nope? Wouldn't that be criticism? Wouldn't that be satire? Again, this is their argument. It is very interesting. Could it be transformative? In fact, it could be more transformative. Yeah, that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. When I read this, I was like, wow. Yes, thanks so much, Ristic Siphon. I was like, wow. Ristic Siphon did a really good job on the Reckless Ben stuff. Like, that was all basically Ristic Siphon. If we had any timestamp, that was Ristic Siphon. I was like, yeah, they kind of have a point. And I know I got, chewed out and all this stuff, but, I have it here. I have proof. Right? Applying a surgical, pedantic approach like the one TI implies should govern here would come dangerously close to endorsing the rigid, bright-line approach to fair use, cited here. Moreover, the function and purpose of Denims' reaction was to disagree with the nuke. That's why they're painting a picture here that Denims is pro-Hassan, this was exactly why the judge ruled for them. Oh yeah, Goosey, it's fair use because I'm using a fairly large amount of this stuff. No. This is exactly why the judge has agreed with them, because of this disagree component. They cite this multiple times. And I'm saying, wow, that's a pretty interesting argument. Houthi pirate, pro-Palestine, and then Ethan Klein is... So it's kind of like, how could somebody who is anti-Ethan Klein react to him not in a non-transformative way? I understand what the argument is. It's very subtle. Yeah, that's the argument. How can somebody who is anti-Ethan Klein not react to Ethan Klein in a way that's transformative because they're actively disagreeing with Ethan Klein? So every so often they'll pause and say, oh, Ethan sucks. Oh, Ethan is Jewish. Oh, Israel sucks. Oh, go Palestine, right? And that's what they were doing. That's what she was doing this whole time. She wasn't making very smart commentary. But again, their argument is her commentary doesn't have to be smart. In fact, their argument is the dumber her commentary, the more transformative it is. And that was the argument that won. Because when I saw this argument, I thought, you know what? Yeah, that's kind of makes sense to me, right? But it's also very clear what our argument it is right now. The nuke's original purpose, blah, blah, blah. Here's another good, yeah. Okay? Because defendant's use of copyrighted material served a completely different function than that of the plaintiffs, this factor weighs in the defendant's favor. Yeah, I get what they're saying. They're getting to the point is because she hates Ethan Klein, it's transformative. T.I. Yeah, that was it. I got a lot. You can see the comment section here. You can see the comment. They don't love it, all right? But what I'm trying to tell you is the truth. This lawyer did a really good job taking, her biggest weaknesses and flipping them into, areas of strength. And let me go back to it. What is this document? It's only 16 pages. It's so well written. And when I saw it, I was like, wow. This is very good. I was very impressed by the lawyers. Now, again, No, I'm on Ethan. So I will say this. I'm on Ethan's Klein side, but at the same time, you know, I look at how well written this is. Is this it? No, this is not it. Is this it? No, that's not it. Oh, I think this is it. Oh, this is ROM, right? This is 8 pages. Documents. Oh, this is like other notifications that he wants. Does anyone remember when it was filed? So it was like some delay. Yeah, it's this one. Some delay. The delay was lifted. And now, notice. Oh, they added their lawyer here. They added this guy here. This guy was added. Wait a second. David Tyranton. Is that the David here? No. And so it's... This has to be wrong. This thing is wrong here. Because it's got to be one of the free lawyers. So they added David. And then we looked up David that day. And I was like, damn, that's kick-ass. Right? They all went to good law schools. They all have good experience. And they're all litigators. So I was like, damn, kick-ass lawyers, right? And then they must have like, so they added David, then they lifted the thing, and then they said, okay, we're going to lift the thing for the H3Snark. Oh, here, motion for judgment on the pleadings. Oh, it was 31 pages. Okay, I got confused. This thing was super impressive. This thing was super impressive. I was highly impressed by this document. And I mean, again, I look at me. I'm like, wow, I'm geeking out and nerding out on it. They literally took her biggest weaknesses and said that because he does not review or have factual information, because he makes up fake information, which would be transformative because it is unique, right? Only Denims can make up the fake factual information she can make. Remember, I was saying, like, we fact check, or not we, our team, Goosey, Ristic Siphon, they fact check, they have links, we have sources. Denims doesn't do any of this stuff, and I thought, oh, yeah, that's a weakness, right? But what if that was her strength? That at any given time, she has no idea what's happening. So how could she possibly commit copyright infringement when A, she hates Ethan Klein, and B, she is not even, like, factual or prepared, right? This is how they won. Is neither its omission in the complaint. So again, they're taking things that Ethan Klein and his lawyer did not say, and they're saying, oh, look, they didn't say this, therefore it must be the opposite, right? Yes, again, I am saying, hey, these lawyers are way better than Rom. Look what I just said. They're taking things that Ethan Klein's lawyer didn't say, then they use the negative and they flip it to the opposite. Very smart. Again, if you are a Denims watcher, or you enjoy Denims, you're never going to figure out the difference. Like, this is a common legal tactic they're using. And it's they use it over and over again, so it's probably working. Yeah, probably working. TI reversed his course and claims the purpose of the works overlap. But they indisputably do not. Another case cited, plaintiff cannot amend pleadings and opposites in brief. The court need only view Denims' live stream. So again, watch Denims' live stream, everybody, the 10-hour live stream. Consistent with Denims' real-time recognition that her viewers wanted to watch someone who would disagree. Oh, yeah. Okay. They did a good job painting what it is. Now, again, you and I know this is not true. But remember, the judge is not a fan of Ethan Klein or Denims. So if you're going to take your shot, you take your shot, right? This is a beautiful argument, actually. So they didn't watch. So Ethan Klein is not losing any viewers because Denims realized in real time that there were a lot of people, 46,000 plus of them, that wanted to watch somebody who disagreed with the nuke. Right? Their argument is, how can somebody who disagrees with everything that is said in the documentary not make it transformative? Yeah, that's it.
To distinguish wholly this part.
That's it. How can somebody who disagrees with every part of the nuke not transform the nuke. That's pretty clever. Purposes. On particular score, TI is correct that Denims says or thinks or feels. So they're taking the argument that Ethan's lawyer has made and they flip it. Is relevant to the fact that Denims did. So they're using this very interesting legal strategy. While TI contends a use cannot be transformative where a defendant copies more than necessary to facilitate comment or criticism, TI ignores that. And no live stream reaction media will the reactor pre-select exactly how a subject. Okay, so they're saying. Okay, so they're saying because Denims did no work, no proofreading, no fact checking, doesn't have a goosey doc, that's like a benefit to her. Where in the past I would view that as like, okay, you didn't transform the content, but what they're saying is, because he is opposed to Ethan Klein, it actually helps her that she has no idea what she's going to say.
Yes, exactly.
So unlike us, we have normally a goosey doc. We normally look at the material. We make sure it's fact accurate. What we're saying. And
thank you, Cameron, for the Cameron F305 for the $5. It really does help the algorithm. We really appreciate you being here.
Many times, Goosey will like correct me. Like we'll like go off a tangent, and the Goosey's like, okay, get back to the doc, get back to the doc. So we have like show notes essentially. The Goosey docs are essentially in other things. They're fact checked. They're show notes. And we do, and I think I've, outside of like one of them, I finished every Goosey doc, no matter how long it has been. They're saying that because they don't have Goosey docs, that's actually a benefit to them. When in previous times, I would think it would be adverse to them, right? Vacation should be a judge decision, okay? When I watch Denims, it's just like her blah, 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 right? Like, their argument is, Denims is so bad at streaming, how could she not be transformative?
Yeah, exactly. That was their argument, and she won. She won. That we go back to this is exactly why the judge, like, let me read you the judge's decision, okay? The judge is saying it's transformative, right? Commercial use. I have to make a video about this tomorrow. But, yeah, they're talking about parodies and Hassan, Hezbollah propaganda. Let's see. The effect on a potential marketplace. The extent the market harm. Indeed, as to parody, pure and simple, it is likely that a new work will not affect the market for the original in a cognizable way, but acting for a substitute. Defendant livestream is not a market substitute for the nuke because someone watching the former will have a very different experience from watching the later. Anyone who... Again, this is it. This is the Goosey Doc versus... Blah, 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 blah. What is going on? I'm going to talk about fake factual information that I didn't research. Anyone seeking to watch the nuke, a scripted and edited documentary, would have had a distinctly different experience watching defendants start and stop, which features spontaneous reaction, sharp criticism throughout. And here's the sources. Okay, so that's one of the fair uses. Let me show you the other three, and then we'll log out. The amount, okay, third is, so they use the whole amount. There's no way they can say, like, they didn't use the whole amount. So this must be the one that Ethan won. So there are 4 factors. You don't need to win all 4. Defendant adverse that the documentary and information nature of nuke favors fair use. The secondary, consider the nature of the copyright work. The fact recognized creative works are closer. So again, they're saying it's not creative. They're saying it's factual, which normally would be a good thing, but they're saying that because it's not creative, it is harder to copyright infringe something that's factual rather than creative. The nuke is divided into 7 sections. The first section walks the audience through Ethan's thesis of the nuke, that Hassan radicalized his audience. The second section involves a parody mocking how Twitch has embraced. Third section focuses on Piker allegedly radicalizing his audience by glorifying... This is the Hoodie Pirate guy. Additionally, the fourth section focused on Piker's interaction
with Habozla propaganda. The fifth section focuses on Piker, Twitch guide. In the final section, Klein summarizes the two motivations for making the nuke, which are to stop Hassan's infiltration of the mainstream media and hold Twitch accountable. Accordingly, the court finds the nature of the subject work weighs against finding a fair use. As set forth below, however, the factor alone is not terribly... Oh, okay, so they won this. I was wrong. So there are 4 factors. They won factor 2. That means they lost factor 3. I don't know how they lost factor 3. They literally took his whole video. The third factor looks at the quantitative amount and qualitative value of the original work, and they took his whole video. The law, this is, I think this is wrong. I think this part is wrong. You can't take somebody's whole video and win this. A great deal of plaintiff's work was copied, but such copying wasn't plainly necessary for commentary and critique. No, they copied everything. Wow, this is interesting. So Ethan Klein won 2, lost 4, and somehow he lost 3. Here, the extent and quality importance of the video clips used by defendant was reasonable. No, I disagree with this. Accordingly, the court finds its factor does not weigh against the defendant. The defendant used everything. No. I have to look more into this, but like, this is iffy. This is very iffy. So, the factor of is how much did you use of the copyrighted work. So if you use like a little piece, right? But you cannot use the whole like 2 hours and then say, oh, look, this doesn't work against me. I don't know, like this, again, they're not saying it helps her, right? They're not saying it helps her. They're just saying that it doesn't hurt her. So maybe this is different. So Snark is saying something very different than what this is actually saying. So number 4, Ethan loses. Number 3, I think is a tie. I think this is a tie. Because, and I actually disagree with this being a tie. I think Ethan should win this one. I don't think you can take somebody's entire video, 100% of it, 100%, and say, you know what? Because you didn't need to take 100%. Again, could Denims make the argument without taking the entire... Yeah, people do shorts, they do video commentary. That's what we do. This part makes no sense to me, but I think it's a tie. And a tie is good for Ethan. Remember, and this is something I don't think the judge is understanding. Fair use is an affirmative defense. The defendant has to prove fair use, not the plaintiff. Denims needs to prove fair use, not Ethan Klein. So this is a tie because the court finds the factors do not weigh against defendant, but the court also didn't say we found the factors weigh for the defendant. If I was wrong, I would attack this like a dog. I would attack this like a dog who hasn't eaten for a week on like a juicy steak bone. I think this is where you attack. I think this is where you go. Because this doesn't make sense. Number 1, the judge says it's a tie, but a tie goes to Ethan Klein. Because the burden of proof, this is fair use is an affirmative defense, meaning that Denims has the burden of proof. So again, I don't get this one at all. Number two is actually in favor of Ethan Klein. Look, accordingly, the court finds the nature of the subject works weighs against finding a fair use. So number 2 goes to Ethan Klein. So even Klein wins number 2. He ties number 3. He loses number 4. And let's see what happened to number 1. But even after he won, look, even after he won number 2, the court was like, haha, that factor doesn't matter. Okay, you dumbass, then why do we have it? Everyone knows fair use is an affirmative defense. Why would we have 4 factors if factor number 2 just doesn't matter? Right? And he cites like one case saying, oh, it's not terribly significant. No. If ROM should be on attack dog mode. Hopefully they sent ROM and not like a... Oh, God, it is bad. It is bad. Okay, where's number 1? Where do we get to number 1? Nature. Okay, so I guess number 1 has 2 parts to it. Wow, number 1 is like long. Where's 1? Hey, this is not even structured properly. Wait, where did 1 go? Oh, here. Holy shit! Look at the length of number 1. And there's 2 parts of it. Holy shit! That's a long number 1. Okay, so for the foregoing, courts find defendants use transformative, part 1. So they won a claim out of 2. And then we talk about commercial use. Accordingly, the analysts of the first factor, the court finds defendants' use weighs in favor of fair use. Now, what was their argument here? Oh, shit. Oh my god, this is so bad. Here a defendant contends that her use was not sufficiently commercial to outweigh the transformation. As defendant is a live streamer, she is eligible to receive subscriptions, donations, and advertised revenue during her Twitch broadcast, regardless of the content of her nature of use. Yeah, no. But when she does that, she gets less than 4,000 viewers, guys. The problem isn't she getting money. The problem is she gets 10 times the money. Yes? So there's no doubt there was a commercial use. Again, there's no doubt there's commercial use. But the court finds distinguishable defendant's use for intentional exploitation of copyright work for monetary... No. Oh, no. No. So the argument against this would be, okay, she gets money. But if she goes from 4,000, under 4,000 viewers to 46,000 viewers, she gets 11 times the money. And that's where the commercialization lies. In fact, Denims has never actually revealed how much money she's received from this live stream. Right? What I would want to know, and Discovery. So this is why I think this is going to fail. I think there's a chance. More than 10%. Because a motion for judgment on the pleadings says, hey, the case is so easy, we don't need Discovery. But in Discovery, I want to ask Denims or figure out, okay, the live stream before the nuke, how much money do you make then? The nuke, when you were copyright infringing the nuke, how much money do you make then? Did you make 11 times the amount of money you made because you had 11 times the amount of viewers, and at the very end of the live stream, you asked for money? This is interesting. I would make the argument, and I as a YouTuber myself, right? Here's what I would say. If we could go from 400 to 4,000 like this, or 4,400. Fuck it, let's play some copyright music. Right, it's worth the risk. So like even I as a YouTuber understand that to 11x, 12x my audience, that's something like exceptionally rare. So again, I don't agree with this. So like he's saying Denims won here. So again, so like if this is a boxing match, this is the judge he's got round 1 to Denims, both part A and B. He's got round 2 to Ethan. But he's like, oh, well, that round doesn't really count, does it? Round 3, he has a tie. I don't have it as a tie. And then round 4, he has it for Denims. So his boxing card looks like Denims, Ethan, tie, Denims. My boxing card would be Ethan. You know, actually 2 is really weird. Like, I didn't... Okay, like, whatever, right? I would say Denims could win 2. Like, I don't know. I don't want... Her lawyers did do a good job. Okay, her lawyers did a good job. That's all I can say. They did a fantastic job. Because I'm looking at my card, too. So right now, Judge Who's card is Denims wins round 1. Ethan wins round 2. There's a tie in round 3. And Denims wins round 4. That's the judge's card, like the scorecard when you're boxing. There's 4 rounds. Therefore, Denims won 2 rounds, tied 1, and it's close, right? Man, this is crazy stuff. But I predicted it. This is me. So when Denims says, hey, we're going to have a watch party, baby. No. She doesn't mean a watch party. She doesn't know what that means, guys. She's only been on Twitch. Get as many people to look at your OnlyFans as possible and ask them for money. Yes, OnlyFans. For money. So it's like, we hate Mortal Kombat so much that we don't want to... We actually like Mortal Kombat. But, like, we don't want to give them money, so we don't go to the movie theater. We don't watch them on Amazon Prime when it comes out. We watch them from, like, somebody streaming. So, again, I think this is a very... Okay, so, like, they're... On page 17, that the motion is unauthenticated and misleading. Again, they don't have an expert witness. No. They need it. So, they're arguing the same thing against Ethan Klein, 70%. Neither is correct. The graphic is derived from the undisputed hard data embedded in Exhibit K to the complaint. It's intended to illustrate... Oh, hey! So this is the bar graph. But my argument, and this is the Ethan Klein argument, is like, you need a third party to confirm this. We don't trust a lawyer doing this. We don't trust a lawyer for Denims creating a graphic that's correct. You need a third party expert to do that for us. Here we get into probably, again, one of the worst arguments. Denims' use did not cause any market harm. The market harm is obvious. You have 44,000 people watching. Even if one person who's a hate watcher would have watched Ethan Klein had you not copyright infringed Ethan Klein, that's enough, right? That is enough. Oh, so the market harm is obvious. Okay, so I'm going to go to bed now because, like, But, okay, I want to show you something very crazy. His name is Noah Samson. Noah Samson has deleted his fundraiser because he feels so embarrassed about it. Look. This is Noah Samson. I said Noah Samson's fundraiser was very corrupt because he mixed aid for Palestine, which never happened, by the way. He mixed aid for Palestine with his own money, giving no money to Palestine. Noah Samson still has not donated a penny to Palestine from his GoFundMe. And now he has deleted all evidence of this charity stream. Look, he only donates to Palestine if he gets over this amount of money. He is only raised this amount of money. 0 cents will be raised for Palestine, even though he uses images of starving children. He felt so bad for this. So this is not the same fundraiser. You can see it's a year ago. That he has deleted every single one. And remember, he had like 5 or 6 days. right? Like he was supposed to go Friday to Sunday, no, Friday to Monday, and then like he went on Tuesday with like Denims, Wednesday, like he like extended this thing, and now he's deleted all evidence of it outside of this, outside of FD Signifier and Bad Empanada going at it for 3 hours, right? He has deleted all evidence that he had a charity stream. Yeah, Domino, I said, hey, these dudes are amazing lawyers. And I said, dude, like, I even said, like, I think Ron might be overworked. Can he really handle 3 top-tier litigators? Like, look, in the Mormon church, I have, like, multiple videos of me saying, like, how awesome these lawyers are. Yeah, so Noah Samson has now deleted all proof that there was any charity stream at all. In fact, when you click on it, because he has not raised, he will donate $0. $0 will be donated to Palestinians and God. Now let's go watch this video again, and let's see what he says.
Pages, and I'm getting sued. About a year ago, I released this video, the YouTubers who backed the genocide, and in response, Ethan Klein immediately began threatening to sue me. Then, a year later, just 2 days before the statute of limitations was up, Klein filed his lawsuit. In the complaint, Klein alleges that I defamed him by falsely painting him as a supporter of the genocide of Palestinians. The complaint presents 6 allegedly defamatory statements, including the title and thumbnail of my video, and it makes—
Yeah, this is what I said about Noah. You guys said, oh, it's a weak thing. I said all he has to do is win one. Like, if you want to get Denims for copyright infringement, all you have to do is win one. You don't need to win both. That's what I'm saying about Noah. Like, people still don't understand that snarkers don't get this. To win a lawsuit, you need to win one claim. So maybe 5 of the claims suck. Maybe 1 of the claims suck. But as long as you can win one time, you're good to go. You are good to go.
It makes several claims related to statements made about Israel, Palestine, atrocity propaganda, Nakba denialism, misinformation, and more. There's a lot of stuff in this thing. It's 31 pages. For now, all I can say about the lawsuit itself—
Wow, 31 pages. That's nothing compared to Leia's power. Leia, in her attack of the judge, had 47 pages. And this is mother effing appeal. God, this guy's getting stressed out by 31 pages. Has he met Leia Rosa Vulik? This woman can print 2,000 pages like this. And he's stressed out by 31 pages. Yes, very true, Goosey. Unfortunately, Palestine will not get any of the money, according to Noah Samson himself.
Is that I think Ethan's claims are meritless and I intend to defend against them. But to do this, I need your help. A full-length defamation trial can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I don't have that. So I started a GoFundMe. It's linked in the description in the pinned comment. You can also find it by searching Klein v. Samson on the internet. I set the goal at $200,000, but any funds we raise above this goal will be donated immediately to Palestinian aid.
Future Noah here. We've not donated a cent to Palestine. Yeah, we went over one claim. The other claim is in Snark limbo. So the other claim is just sitting there. Ethan just needs to win one claim against Denims, not 2. Just like Noah. We don't need to win 6 claims against Noah. We just gotta win one of them.
And any money that goes unused or is recuperated once legal proceedings conclude will also be donated. Last year, around—
Donation! Well, Noah, I'm here to tell you, in the future, not only did you lie, right, all money, future Noah here, you did not raise any money for Palestine. Every single dollar you raised goes into your pocket. Even though you mentioned Oh no, did he delete Palestine? No, oh god, I was worried. Okay, I thought he changed his GoFundMe to delete Palestine. Okay, Palestine 1, Palestine 2. Okay. So you talked about defamation one time. You talked about your lawyer fees one time. But you talked about Palestine twice. And here we go.
Around the time of Ethan's initial lawsuit threats, we did a fundraiser for UNRWA, an organization that provides aid to Palestinian refugees, and we raised...
Why not donate half of this money to UNRWA? Am I going crazy here? Look, you have a lot of money. This is way more than Denims raised. Way more than Denims raised. Why not give, $1 for every dollar raised for your legal fees to UNRWA? Oh, $0. Yes, Skip Trace. He has raised currently $0. In fact, some of the guests were really confused. Some of the guests was like, oh, it's really great that you're helping Palestine. And he was like, oh, well, yeah. Many of the guests that he had on, that's why the videos are deleted now, were absolutely confused. Because they thought they were also donating to Palestine. They were going on his channel. He had a lot of people on. We'll take a look at them. And all the videos have now been deleted.
We raised over $500,000, so it would be cool if we could do something like that again.
It would be cool if we could do something like that again. For me. F the Palestinian kids. It would be cool if I took all the money.
I'll be hosting a fundraising live stream this Friday, May 22nd, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's a marathon stream, so it will go for 4 days straight, maybe longer.
It actually went longer because he was doing such a poor job. He had iDubbbz on, he had Frogan on. I remember Frogan was like one of the last days. Frogan was on like very late. Future Noah here. It went longer.
We'll have lots of guests calling in to hang out, play games, or do tier lists or whatever else. So far, we've got FD Signifier.
Yes, FD Signifier battles Bad on Panada. And that's the only evidence we have this charity stream actually happened. FD Signifier calls Bad on Panada, I think, a racist. Or like anti-American, whatever. Oh, a grifter. No, it was a grifter. And Bad on Panada got so upset they had to debate for 3 hours. Riveting content, guys. And that was the only piece of content that survived, was a piece of drama content between FD Signifier and Bad on Panada talking about if Bad on Panada was a grifter. For 3 hours.
Boy, Big Joel, Denims, iDubbbz, Frogan, Elliot Sang, Chris.
Oh, thank you, Goosey. Frogan and Noah, big fans of Lus and Goosey. yeah, like these guys. He didn't really announce Bad on Panada. Bad on Panada was he was like a guest. He was like a surprise guest. He wasn't even supposed to be on, but he forced Noah to put him on.
Chris Kunzler, Overzealot, Spooky Scary Socialist, Ahmed Sarsour, Colormind, Oli.
Oh yeah, Ahmed. I remember Ahmed. Isn't that the guy who said he was reading like books about like the Holocaust being fake? Right. That's the guy, right? I don't want to show his baby. His cute baby. Isn't Ahmed the guy who was like, "Hey, Noah, what you really need to do is you need to read this book. The offer is amazing. It will open your mind, Noah, about the Holocaust. Wow, you won't believe what this guy's saying, Noah." And Noah's like, yeah, okay, well, yeah. I think we made a video about this, right? Yeah, that's him, Goosey, yeah. and this woman, this was the most funny part, guys. Oh, Sean the Black. How will we forget about Sean the Black? This was the most funny. I'm going to cough. I have no water anymore. Only Gatorade. Okay. This woman, there's a clip that we had. There's a clip that we had that Goosey took. And literally it was this woman saying, oh yeah, the vibes are great, right? We're doing this for Palestine. And then Noah's like, because at this point he realizes he hasn't raised any amount of money. Like, he's nowhere close to $200,000. So he's like, oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, Palestine. And she's like, right? And Noah's like, well, you know, it depends. You know? So the fundraiser did not go as good as Noah thought it would go. Noah really thought he was going to raise $500,000 because he did raise $500,000 to a legit organization from their own website for Palestine. Anyone who cares about Palestine can donate directly to that organization. Noah wants all the money to come through him, and then he'll donate it if he feels like it. That sounds like a GoFundMe scam to me.
Holy Sun via Cavernacle, and more. We'll have lots of fun donation goals. You may get to see me chug a gallon of milk, take a pie to the face, wax my legs, cosplay your favorite
Which he did reach. He reached this. Yes, he did cosplay. I think he cosplayed Destiny.
influencers, do the hot chip challenge, run a marathon, and more.
Future Noah here. He did not run a marathon.
We'll have the wheel going as well, like we did during the last fundraiser.
Look, he really believes he's going to raise $500,000 again. He really believes that it's that easy to raise that type of money. But when he was doing the initial fundraiser, it was for Palestine. It wasn't for Noah's legal defense fund. So people were far more willing. Let me also say, like, his guests were not as good as the guests that Hassan didn't show up. You think for such a big charity for Palestine, Hassan would have donated or shown up, right? No.
And for the grand finale, if we hit $500,000, I will ride a bike 120 miles from San Diego.
So he was so positive he could hit $500,000. He texted Hassan, "I'm on my way," and then Hassan never texted him back for like 5 or 6 days. Hassan never, and iDub, and then he said, hey, he was talking to iDubbbz, hey, did you talk to Hassan? iDubbbz like, well, he really doesn't communicate that way, like via text. And he was like, yeah, I haven't talked to Hassan. He hasn't responded to me. Right? So the big $500,000 fundraiser, the plan was to raise $500,000, right? And then go to Hassan, right? The plan was to raise $500,000, then go to Hassan and beg him for more money because $500,000 for Palestine was not enough.
Go to Hassan Piker's house to beg him for more money. Klein v. Samson, GoFundMe, link in bio. Donate to help defend free speech on YouTube and send money to Palestinian aid.
Future Noah here. $0 were sent to Palestinian aid. How many times did he mention Palestinian aid? Oh, God. We're going to have fun with this one. Yeah. No, Hassan doesn't have even a second to, like, thumbs up. Like the comment or something. But he has time to watch more Pegasus? Oh, yikes. No, he already has a lawyer. We know who his lawyer is. I've actually done an analysis on all of their lawyers. Yeah. No, I know where the video is. I actually know what my video is. It's not a live stream, it's a video. I actually wanted to rate. It didn't happen because Reckless Ben happened, but I was going to rate all the lawyers. I was going to rate every single lawyer. Yeah, here. This is what I was going to do.
Hey guys, I thought it would make a fun live stream. Let me know if you guys like this idea in the comments below. And if I missed anyone, any of these characters that we cover, Klein's lawyer, I was going to give a ranking for Denims, Frogan. Maybe we would do Casey Tron, even though she shares the same lawyers as Denims, just one less.
So this is the lawyer. So actually, I was going to make a tier list of all the lawyers.
They both had free. I was going to do Hassan Piker's pirate friend, on both sides, specifically on Logan Paul's side.
Yeah, this is Frogan's
We
lawyer.
were going to talk about age-free categories in dollars. Ended in a legal result. So
look. This is what I talk. Yeah. I talk about Dennis lawyers. Okay.
H3Snark, for instance, there was a legal result for that, where they lost. Frogan, there was a legal result. Billy Mitchell versus Carl Jobs, there was a legal result. So you can rank them.
So I'm telling you how I'm going to rank them.
Their current status, what you believe their percentage of winning is, or losing, and if they actually finished their case and there was a conclusion, then you
this is them. This is them.
Ranking their legal strategy. Sometimes legal strategy doesn't work, but how viable is it? You have legal strategies like
this guy's a partner. Oh no, he's an associate. Is the other guy partner? Oh yeah, the guy with tattoos is a partner. This guy's a partner. Yeah, co-managing partner of Los Angeles. He's badass.
He's like getting as many lawyers involved as possible. This would be, of course, Denims strategies. He just added a third incredibly expensive lawyer.
Yes,
you have legal strategies like going straight to default, or not going straight to default, just delaying until you default.
This is a new lawyer, David.
And then you have legal strategies like Leia. That would be Frogan's strategy, right? Then you have case. So what is your legal strategy?
Oh, then you got Carl Jobs.
What's going on here? And also fundraising will add. The vibes are a great
Assad.
idea. Pending. They have
you got Leia Vulik.
Once you make a mistake, the two lawyers, instead of working,
you got Destiny.
They have for each other. It seems to have also spread to their lawyers.
This guy, you got Asmongold, Mizkif.
Influencers.
Everyone here has like 4 different lawyers. There's like a total of like 16 different lawyers. Oh, and then you have Logan Paul and the CoffeeZilla. Logan Paul's lawyers are very good. So I was going to make a live stream talking about each of these lawyers. Then we did the, brick by brick. And then that's what happened, right? We got caught up in the brick by brick movement. I do miss this. This is like actually lawyer shit. You look at the legal document, you talk about the legal document, you talk about weaknesses in it. Like brick by brick, I'll be honest, isn't really us doing legal shit. It's more like us doing drama. But it's interesting drama, right? This is more legal stuff. This is more legal stuff, which I enjoy, yeah. I kind of miss it. But anyway, it's been over 2 hours, so I feel like I have delivered to my OG people, right? I feel like I have delivered you the goods, right? Yeah, brick by brick. I feel like I delivered you the goods, and tomorrow we'll probably do brick by brick again. So I feel like I've covered what I needed to cover. As soon as this gets updated, okay. No, that's Leia. No, Leia, no. As soon as this gets updated, we'll cover it again. Okay, I promise you, we'll cover it. But for viewer's sake, we probably need to do brick by brick again. Because holy shit, does that give us like really good views. Alright, bye guys. I will see you soon. I don't know if I'm going to do a weekend stream. I'm thinking about it. We'll see you soon, yo. Oh, yeah. Join Discord. A lot of fun things are happening in Discord, guys. A lot of fun things are happening in Discord. Alright, bye guys.